Hi there YouTube. Right, today I'm at a place called Lopwell Dam. Let me just show you the dam. There it is. Yeah, I came here last week with the family and we had a really nice walk, and there's some woods that I can go through as well as the dam here. So hopefully I will find something to make a nice image from. We shall see. Okay, so my first image then is it's a bit of a no-brainer really. I'm hoping you can hear me over the noise of the water. So on the right hand side of the frame I've got the steps with the water flowing down, and then we've got these really nice swirls patterns with the water foam, and then on the left of the frame I've got the main part of the dam. And we've got all the moss that's on the stonework and everything. So we've got some really nice detail in there as well as the water. And then up on the far right of the frame we've got the iron railing fence leading in to the main part of the image. I've got a 6-stop ND on, I've got a polarizer on, and I've got a grad filter on just to bring the highlights down in the sky there. So the F11, that's giving me a 10-second exposure at ISO 50. So what I'm going to do now, check all my focus. So I'm going to focus on the wall at the top of the dam there. So I'm just going to take that shot. Let's hope it comes out okay. Right, so I've moved away from the dam area now. I'm walking into this woodland sort of forested area. I'm not sure what I'm going to find. Never been this way before. Well, everything in here is very, very overgrown and pretty wild looking. And of course it's the middle of summer, which means it looks very, very messy. And you can see from the state of the footpaths that this part of the wood isn't used very much at all. So I'm going to be finding it a bit of a struggle, I think, to find anything in here. But we shall persevere and walk further and see what we come across. And there's kind of footpaths sort of leading off, shooting off all over the place, so you're never quite sure which one to take and where it'll lead you. Well, as I've just been saying, you never know where these footpaths might lead you. And I've just come through this little gap here in the trees. Had to duck under there to get in, and as I came through, this is what was in front of me. Now this is the derelict remains of the old ferryman's cottage, which was here up until 1930, when the wooden ferry was finally decommissioned. But this would have been where the ferryman lived, and according to this information board here, with his wife. So, is there an image to be had with this old ruined cottage here? I think maybe there might be. There's a fallen tree right through the middle of it, which is covered in moss. So I don't know whether that'll work or not. There's a lot of ivy and vines hanging down on the walls. The only problem is all around it is quite sort of chaotic and messy. It's quite overgrown in here. So I don't know whether I'm going to be able to get an image or not. But I might as well try, seeing as I'm here. Okay, so it's pretty tight. I'm not even sure this is going to work. If I try and go any further back, then I get the information board in the shot. So I've got to be up quite close to my subject, which is not ideal. I don't have a lot of choice really. Let's just get everything leveled up. There we go. So that's nice and level. Yeah, I don't know if this will work, but as always with my channel, I like to show you the failures as well as the successes. I suppose you could say, well, don't take the image then. But I've set up the composition, so my intention is there, so I'm going to take it anyway. And then you can tell me what you think of it. With the trees in the frame, we've got the tree on the left of the frame, sort of the left third, and then the fallen tree which runs down as a diagonal through the frame. It kind of makes a kind of like a reverse K shape. I don't know whether that's going to help the image or not, but let's just dial in my focus. And given that we've got lots of textured rock here, that's going to be pretty easy. So I'm shooting at 24mm. I'm at ISO 50. F11. Actually, I'm going to open the aperture up to all the way up down to F4, and I'm going to underexpose by quite a bit, so almost 2 stops I'm underexposing by, because I want loads and loads of contrast in this shot. I think that could actually make it, if it's worth having, if you see what I mean, is lots of contrast. So yeah, I think I'll just double check focus, because I've changed my aperture. So let's just double check that, make sure we are absolutely spot on sharp. Yep. And there we go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually see what it would look like in black and white. So into the menu, switch it to monochrome. Yeah, possible. I think it's going to work better in colour though, because of the fact that there's so much in the image. Right, what I'm finding now is a lot of these trails that kind of shoot off here and there actually don't lead anywhere. They kind of come to a dead end. So yeah, I'm not quite sure now where to go. So I'm going back the way I came. The trail round by the old ferry cottage, that's cut off because there's a massive fallen tree right across it, and I'm not scrambling over that because it is big. It's a big old tree that's fallen down. So heading back down to see, there was an offshoot up there, so I might try that and see where that leads me. So I've hit another dead end here, look, another great big huge fallen tree blocking the path. I could try and crawl underneath it, but I don't fancy that. I'm certainly not going to try and climb over it. So what I've decided to do is head back up to the dam, go back across the dam. There looked to be a footpath leading through into a park on the other side, and just down here, I don't know if you can see through these trees, there looks to be a lake here. So whether or not the park leads to that area and we can get down by the water side and see anything, I don't know. So I'm going to head that way, see what happens. But this is like trying to wade through a jungle, and I just can't see anything at all to photograph. So I'm done with it. I'm going to head over to the other side of the dam. So while I'm walking back, I just thought I'd quickly talk about a question that I've been asked recently, which initially I didn't know what to think about it. But I gave it some thought, and this is my answer. So the question was, why do you bother with these YouTube videos? Seeing as you don't get many views, etc. Which is, I suppose, is a fair point. There's a lot of people that do these vlogs in order to make money, and there's a lot of people that make these vlogs that make a lot of money out of doing it. So anyway, I've been doing YouTube video. Well, I first started doing YouTube videos let's say about 12 years ago as a musician, and pretty much all of my videos were either education based or demoing music products, and I did that consistently for a few years up to about 2012, and then for reasons I won't go into and bore you with, I stopped doing it for a few years. And then when I kind of got back into photography, in particular landscape photography, I decided about 2 years ago to start doing some vlogs. Now, the reason I do it is not because I think I'm going to get loads of views, not because I think I'm going to make any money out of it. I mean, it's a pretty saturated market in terms of how many photographers there are on YouTube. So I was never naive enough to believe that my content would kind of be in any way groundbreaking, or that I'd suddenly get loads and loads of followers and viewers, and you know what I mean. But for me, this is about documenting my photography journey or process, if you like, and sharing it with anybody that's interested, really. But it's more about me sharing or documenting my my photography journey, and I quite often look back on my videos to see how I've improved, or even if I've improved, whether my images are better, and my technique and everything else has improved. So that is why I do it. It's kind of a documentary of my life as a photographer, rather than any attempt to get loads of views and all the rest of it. So there you go, that's why I do it. Okay, so coming back across the dam, I've seen some beautiful cascades down here. Now the tide's come up a bit, because this is a tidal area, and it looks really nice. The light's beautiful as well. The sun's kind of just creeping through the grey clouds, so really nice light, but it's still quite soft. My biggest problem is where to set up, because I'm going to have to get down there somehow. So if you see this shot, then I've succeeded. If not, then I gave up on the idea. So as it turned out, that area that I thought was an entrance to a park happened to be the entrance to somebody's private property. So I won't be going there. So I think I'm going to call the video there and end it there. This is one of those areas that is quite a big area. There's a lot of footpaths, but there's really only 1 or 2 photographs that you can actually get here, which is mainly centered around the dam. The woods are most of it is inaccessible, and the bits that you can access are so overgrown and wild and messy looking that I certainly couldn't find anything there at all. So anyway, still worth coming just to see the dam and get a photograph of it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like and leave a comment, and if you'd like to see more videos, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button, and I will see you in the next video.